Namo Amida Buddha. Every now and then I'll make a video and I'll run it by my sensei, Josho Adrian Sirlia. And the reason I do this is because I honestly know that I am a bamboo. That's why I'm not a Buddhist theologian. That's why I'm not, someone who is out to become a leader of his own cult, because I realize that I make mistakes. And I recently, today actually, I deleted my previous video because Josho pointed out some doctrinal incorrect, flaws in what I did. And there are a lot of people that say, well, screw that, this is about my self-expression. It's not about my self-expression. That's not why I do this channel. And it's not about how many subscribers I have. I think on BitChute I have 1 subscriber. But I get a lot of views because my channel is not known as cool. And it's not about me being cool. It's not about me stroking my own ego. It is about me sharing what I experience as a follower of Amida Buddha. But sometimes I get doctrinal facts wrong. In such case, I will not go ahead and promote a video that will end up promoting incorrect teaching. And I know that sounds kind of hard ass. I know that sounds kind of stagnant. But the thing is, I have to be humble enough to understand that I am a flawed bamboo. I am a spiritual idiot. I am someone who is prone to mistakes. There's certain dharma passages I have a bad memory about. There are certain facts that I get mixed up. And it's not about me being perfect in presenting these videos, but I'm not going to promote wrong views. And of course, I never intend to promote any wrong views. But sometimes that happens. And so I want that fact checking. I want for Josho to look at my videos, and if there's any inconsistencies, I will either come out and correct it, or I will just delete the video and I will start all over. Because it's not about how many subscribers I get. It's not about how popular I am. I want to present my relationship with Amida Buddha, but it's not about what I feel. It's not just what I feel. It's recently Josho did a post on a very popular Buddhist, so-called Buddhist celebrity, a monk. I can't even pronounce his name. He was a Vietnamese monk. And this guy actually talked about how he went to a Buddhist temple and met a Catholic priest who lived there. And the Catholic priest's comment was, practicing Buddhism makes me a better Catholic. And this world famous monk and author came back by saying, yeah, Buddhism is not a religion, it is a philosophy, and you can be a Christian or, whatever, and be a good Buddhist. He said it's like an exercise, like yoga. That's not true. Buddhism is a religion. Buddhism is a faith, especially Pure Land Buddhism. And I will share with you things that go on in my life. But if I find that I have made doctrinal mistakes, like I think the last time I used the term Shanti Devas, and I misinterpreted the story of Shakyamuni Buddha trying to correct Baka Brahma. And Josho pointed that out to me, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. And he said, well, you could keep the video up, just explain what your mistakes were in the video. I went ahead and deleted it because I don't see myself as important enough to try to push something that's going to promote wrong views, whether intentionally or by mistake. And of course, it was innocent enough. I got my facts mixed up. It was just that simple. But getting back to the celebrity monk, there are people like this guy and like Al Bloom and others who form their own opinions and theorize and kind of tweak Jodo Shinshu doctrine to suit their personality or their take on it. I mean, I do have my relationship with Amida Buddha, but when it comes to the doctrine and conveying of the doctrine of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, I don't mess around with that. That's not something, it's very dangerous to kind of present heretical views as your own idea. And I saw a lot of that on Facebook. I knew one guy who he tried to create his own Buddhist sect out of a Facebook page, which is absolutely absurd. And he was going to have his own robes and own traditions and everything. And of course, it lasted for a couple of months and fell by the wayside. You see, I don't care how many subscribers I have. What I care about is how many views I get. And because that's more people who hear about Amida Buddha. Because even though I share what goes on in my life and I talk about what my life experiences are as a Nembutsu sayer, as a practicer of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, even though I talk about me a lot, ultimately this channel is not about me, it's about him. It's about Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite light and life. And I want to be very clear that this is why I'm not a theologian. This is why I don't call myself a Dharma master. I say I'm a regular peasant trying to convey what a life of simple faith is. And some people like it and some people don't. Some people don't think it's flashy enough. Getting back to that famous monk and author, Vietnamese monk and author, you know, this guy has sold just countless books. He's done countless interviews in every Buddhist magazine. You know, the guy is like viewed like the Dalai Lama, you know, and it's when you downplay Buddhism and try to make it some kind of like mental meditation exercise for anyone and everyone, you cheapen the value of the message of this religion. Now, yes, we don't believe in a monotheistic, supreme, all-powerful, all-knowing God. We don't believe in God. But still, it is a religion. It is a faith. I worship Amitabha Buddha. I bow at that shrine. I fall down on my face, you know, and I hold my hands up, you know, to symbolize, you know, holding the feet of Amitabha Buddha. I worship and adore Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha is my life. And so I've kind of changed a lot. On Facebook, I wanted likes. I wanted friends. And in the end, I got 1,400 friends. I think about maybe 6 or 10 people actually followed me. That says a lot about human nature. It says a lot about the ego, both in myself and in other people. That's why eventually I left Facebook. It was a distraction. I now am devoted to sharing my experience with Amitabha Buddha. And I think sometimes it'd be better for me, it would behoove me to stay away from doctrinal facts. Because every time I try to get, you know, sharp and intellectual, I think I show myself to be the idiot that I really am, you know. And hey, you know, that's not self-hatred, that's just acknowledging I should leave such things to people who have studied and mastered such things. I have not. And I need to understand that what I am, sometimes this reality comes home to me, and I'm very grateful for it. And that reality is that I am a peasant, like the ignorant peasants in Shinran and Renyo's time in medieval Japan, who are best just saying the name of Amitabha Buddha and entrusting themselves to him in faith and wishing to be reborn in his pure land. Because ultimately that's what it's all about. It's not about a cult of personality. You know, I'm not so arrogant that I would think that I could possibly improve on the writings of Shinran and Renyo and the other Pure Land masters. And so if I find out that I am making a video with, you know, heretical views, I'm going to delete that video. There's an old phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I know that oh too well. And that's not a bad thing to realize that. As I've said, I've quoted, and I like doing this, I quote Clint Eastwood in one of his movies as saying a man's got to know his limitations. Sometimes I forget my limitations. I think most of the time I'm safer talking about my personal relationship and experiences with Amida than I am trying to expound the Dharma. Because I do believe the Dharma to be pristine. And even though I have studied the Dharma for years and will continue to. Sorry, cough drop. It's fall in Houston, like I've said before. It's been a lot of stuff floating around in the air. So that's the thing I love about Pure Land Buddhism is it puts you in your place. If you're a sincere follower and you really desire the true pristine Dharma, you find that that takes precedence over your likes or dislikes or self-promotion. I like the fact that I have this new channel, that I've started anew. Now, I've shared some of my older videos on different platforms, and I talked about, YouTube and the changes that are taking place. But ultimately, I want to present where I am right now, not where I was in the past. I want to talk about things that really matter to me in my daily life. Not about shaving my head and putting on Dharma robes and, yeah, that's where I was back then. That's not where I am right now. Where I am right now is in focusing on Amida Buddha, not on my views, not on how I can promote Dave. It's how I can share the message of Amida Buddha. And I have to realize that I need to be careful because I'm not very good at quoting Dharma facts. And that's okay. That's why I'm always recommending friends who have Dharma questions. I will tell them what I feel, but ultimately I will send them to my sensei, Josho Adrian, Sir Leo. And I will say, this is a Jodo Shinshu priest, totally, absolutely devoted to the pristine Dharma of Amida Buddha. Because what is more important than me having followers is Amitabha having people entrust themselves to him properly. And so, I'm going to continue making these videos. I'm going to continue making mistakes. And from time to time, I'm going to delete the videos where I've made mistakes. And sometimes that upsets people, and they're like, why did you delete your video? Because the message is more important than the content that I put out, if that makes sense. You see, the human mind is a strange thing. Even the sharpest of us can forget things and get things wrong that we've read. And though this is a simple human mistake, if someone like a Reverend Josho Adrian Sirleaf of Amida G Temple, a bona fide Jodo Shinshu priest, points out the incorrect views, I'm not going to say, oh, well, no big deal. It is a big deal. Now, there are times when I make a video, it's not going to be very eloquent. It's going to be halting. Like this one, it's not very eloquent. It doesn't matter. This journey I've undertaken with Amida Buddha is a journey that will only end in this realm with my death. It is a journey that is not going to stop as long as I'm alive. I will not embellish the pristine dharma of Amida Buddha. I will not promote my views over the pristine dharma of Amida Buddha, because my views, my interpretations of the dharma take a back seat to the truth, the true teaching of the dharma. And sometimes inadvertently I make mistakes. Now, I'm not beating myself up over this, but I want to explain this is why I've gone on rants in the past about people who play games with spirituality. This is not a game for me. This religion of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism has literally saved my life and brought meaning and strength and peace to my broken life. If I only have 9 or 10 subscribers on this channel, I will still continue to make videos. I will still continue to put out the information of how Amitabha Buddha has changed and continues to change my life through my connection with him. Because this is what's most important. That people out there know my life has been changed by a living Buddha named Amitabha Buddha. And I have received from Amitabha Buddha a gift of knowing that I will be reborn in his pure land, an actual place, an actual land. And this reality transcends anything my ego would want to do to promote myself. Like I said, I think I have 1 subscriber on my channel on BitChute. I mean, it's pretty new. I don't really like that format. It's weird. I'm not comfortable with it. but I do get views. And the thing is, I want people to hear, especially in this Dharma ending age of Mappo, the importance of seriously considering a relationship with Amida Buddha, of saying his name in gratitude, entrusting ourselves to him, and desiring to be reborn in his pure land. This is not just some kind of meditational exercise. This is not just some kind of, new age practice like yoga or something else. This is like the most real, actual phenomenon you could ever have in your life. And I just wanted to say that. Namo Amida Buddha.